Okay, after you've initiated your bridge model, you need to give it support lines. And I will briefly run through how to do that. First thing you need to know, or first thing you want to check, is that when you have an active bridge, or whichever bridge is active, will have your blue bridge icon over here. Make sure that you are on the correct bridge. You have set the active bridge correctly before modifying anything. Over on level display, as part of the workspace development, all of the BM levels were added for bridge model layer levels. So I've got mine set right now to support lines so that I've got the right symbology and everything for my support lines. So I want to make sure that I'm on my A approach. I'm going to place a multi-support line. I don't really, other than how wide I make these, I'm not really concerned with any of this information other than that I've got the correct number of support lines. So I've got that set equal to 4 because I do want to break at each one of my 33-foot approach slab breaks. My feature is support line, prefix is support line, so that's great. I'm going to come in and I want to try and get these out quite a ways, and I will show you why after they are created. I'll go ahead and set the first one, quote unquote, south of the end of the approach slab. I'm going to put it at a random skew and stretch it somewhat forward to where it'll be at the back of the abutment. This pops up when I accept that, and I'm just going to say okay, and it's going to place all of my support lines. Here's the reason that I try and stretch them out as far as I can get them, because this text will be making a mess over your layout lines, line work, and I can always come out and I can easily read what station the support lines are at. So I try and stretch those out in order to get all that text outside of the limits of my bridge. So you can obviously see that they're not lining up very well. I come up to move. I make sure that station and skew is selected. And then when I come down, it'll ask me to select the support line that I want to move and then select a target line. So that's what I've done. Now, this is probably not the best example because I did mention in I think, previous video that I've got 2 alignments. So this ramp tie-in, this to the right of this alignment was actually tied to this alignment. So that's why it's not snapping perfectly here, because I had to have, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and move all my support lines where they need to be. It is a simple process of selecting the target line and then selecting where you want the support line to end. For this 4th one, I'm going to select the target line and I'm going to select just the back of the abutment. So you can see how everything gets a little bit wonky out here with your texts. I typically will come in just for the time being and just turn off my support lines. I know that I've got them placed, and it tells me right here that I've got support lines defined for this bridge. For my main unit, I want to go ahead and set this as my active bridge. It is active now. I want to place multi-support, and I'm going again, stretch this out, place it, put it at some random skew, and then stretch it forward till it roughly lines up with my bridge layout. Accept, come in and move, make sure station and skew is selected. and then select this support line and select center line of each one of my substructure units. Okay, now you will see that, or you notice that I did not select back the abutment, and then I'll explain that in the future videos. So essentially I've placed my support lines for my approach A, my main unit, and I'll do it outside of the video for the other approach slab. And you can see, I mean, these beige colored lines, the text says what bridge those apply to. And just because of how kind of wonky the approach is, that's why you try and get them out to the side as far, well, not as far as you can, but a good distance, just so that you can get all this text outside the limits of your bridge.